Hello, Year 4. Welcome to Word of the Day. Delay is today's word of the day, and it has two syllables. Delay. Delay means if you delay doing something, you do not do it immediately or at the planned or expected time, but you leave it until later. Here's the word delayed in a sentence. Playtime was delayed by 15 minutes. Look on the side of the screen and there's two synonyms for the word delay. Synonyms mean exactly the same as the word. Detain or hold up are synonyms for the word delay. Let's move on to suffixes next. Suffixes go at the end of the word. They're a letter or a few letters that go at the end of the word. If we add the suffix ing to delay, we have the word delaying. If we add the suffix ed to delay, the word will read as delayed. And if we add an s to delay, it will read as delays. Now you're going to pause here for a moment and have a think about sentences you can make for words with the suffixes ing and s. So think of sentences for the word delaying and sentences for the word delays. And if you've got some paper and a pencil, write down two sentences for me. So pause here, have a think and have a go. Well done, Year 4, for trying out those words with suffixes. Here are my examples. For the word delayed, I do not expect to be delayed as there isn't much traffic on the roads today. And for the word delaying, I am going to be delaying the flight if I don't check in on time. And for the word delays, the delays on the motorway cause me to get to my destination an hour late. Welcome to Chapter 3 of The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. She is called the Queen Mary, said Abeline's father, and you and your mamma and I shall sail on her all the way to London. What about Pellegrina? Said Abeline. I will not go, said Pellegrina. I will stay. Edward, of course, was not listening. He found the talk around the dinner table excruciatingly dull. In fact, he made a point of not listening if he could help it. But then Abeline did something unusual, something that forced him to pay attention. As the talk about the ship continued, Abeline reached for Edward and took him from his chair and stood him on her lap. And what about Edward? She said, her voice high and uncertain. What about him, darling? Said her mother. Will Edward be sailing on the Queen Mary with us? Well, of course, if you wish, although you are getting a little old for such things as China rabbits. Nonsense, said Abeline's father jovially. Who would protect Abeline if Edward was not there? From the vantage point of Abeline's lap, Edward could see the whole table spread out before him in a way that he never could when he was seated in his own chair. He looked upon the glittering array of silverware and glasses and plates. He saw the amused and condescending looks of Abeline's parents, and then his eyes met Pellegrina's. She was looking at him in a way a hawk hanging lazily in the air might study a mouse on the ground. Perhaps the rabbit fur on Edward's ears and tail, and the whiskers on his nose had some dim memory of being hunted, for a shiver went through him. Yes, said Pellegrina without taking her eyes off Edward. Who would watch over Abilene if the rabbit were not there? That night, when Abilene asked, as she did every night, if there would be a story, Pellegrina said, "Tonight, lady, there will be a story." Abilene sat up in bed. "I think that Edward needs to sit here with me," she said, "so that he can hear the story too." "I think that is best," said Pellegrina. "Yes, I think that rabbit must hear the story." Abilene picked Edward up, sat him next to her in bed, and arranged the covers around him. Then she said to Pellegrina, "We are ready now." "So," said Pellegrina. She coughed. "And so, the story begins with a princess." "A beautiful princess?" Abilene asked. "A very beautiful princess." "How beautiful?" "You must listen," said Pellegrina. "It is all in the story." Here is your task, therefore. As you know, Edward is a really interesting character. He goes along an interesting journey, and as his journey continues, Edward's character changes along the way. We know at the start he thinks very importantly about himself. Your task is to draw Edward's picture and describe his appearance and his personality while he's living on Egypt Street. Don't think about the events after, just think about what Edward looks like while he lives on Egypt Street with Abilene and her family. Include as many unusual details about him as you can remember. So here are some words in bold down the bottom, and they will be helpful. Conceited, extraordinary, elegant, fancy, self-centered, and proud. You can go back to the slide before where you have chapter 3. I need you to pause on there, look in the dictionary for the words highlighted in yellow, and write down their meanings. Enjoy your task, and you can send pictures to the email address on there. Stay safe, everyone.